My name's Leonie Bolt, and I went from high school troublemaker and long-time backpacker to accidental entrepreneur. After 15 years working as a professional photographer and running my own studio, I grew into becoming a personal empowerment and business mentor to help other women to follow their passions and find their purpose too. I've learnt to pave my own way through life, and now I empower others to do the same, to break through their limiting beliefs and empower them to shine. Welcome to the Empowered to Shine podcast, where we dive deep into creating a life by your own design. Hey, my name's Leonie and you're on the Empowered to Shine podcast. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you need to reach out to me, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook as Leonie Bolt Confidence Creator. I always love hearing from you, and I hope that you can share this podcast with your friends if you think that they're going to enjoy it as well. Today, I'm going to dive into the balance between ignorance is bliss and knowledge is power. I don't know about you, but lately, too much of what's going on in the world has been getting me feeling really agitated, really heavy, really, it's a bad vibe right now, right? I know a lot of women in the spiritual community in particular have had to come back to what they call their cocoon or their little bubble, me included, because especially if you're an empath and you feel a lot of the feelings of everybody else and you feel responsibility for a lot of things that maybe you don't need to take responsibility for, but you're a good person and so you do, particularly if you're a people pleaser as well. You know, you want to keep everybody happy. It's been tough. There's been a lot going on in the world, and the mainstream media doesn't help us at all in staying in a high vibrational place. I don't know about you, but when you watch too much news, it makes you feel a little bit scared and vulnerable. All of a sudden it's, the focus is on everybody's not affording their bills, and there's wars, and there's COVID, and whatever else is murderers and all of that sort of stuff. So the last podcast that I did, I was talking about a conversation that I had with my sister and about how she was quite happy living in her little bubble. She's a very successful businesswoman, but quite likes to live in her bubble. In fact, my sister-in-law also lives in very much a bubble, and they're completely happy, and that's A-okay. But I don't know about you, I like to know stuff. I like to know what's going on. In fact, I've tapped into a lot of women in the spiritual community that have the downloads, that have the connections to, other beings or sources, let's say. I know that sounds very woo-woo, and I love a bit of woo-woo. Sometimes I don't always get it, and that's okay. You're not meant to understand it all, but you're meant to take what you can from it, and whatever is meant for you will sink in and help you on your journey, and that's what it's all about. And there's a lot of deep, dark stuff going on everywhere, but it's part of a transition period. It's part of crumbling of what we know to be true. And we could dive into conditioning and limiting beliefs right now, but maybe that's a topic for another day. But what is a good balance, right? I don't even think I know the answer. Maybe I'm asking you, what is a good balance between knowledge and ignorance? I know when I have too much knowledge, I then retract. I then need to go into my bubble. I need to shut myself off from the world, put my blinkers on. It doesn't concern me. This isn't going to affect me. And I've been a bit like that with COVID. I have to admit, I kind of watch the news because having my own business, right, it really does affect me. It affects my team. We've had to close the doors multiple times because of COVID, because I run a service-based business from a brick and mortar studio, and it's not exactly an essential business. So for those of you that don't know, I actually run an all-female photography studio, and we specialize in empowering women through boudoir, glamour, and personal branding. Now, the branding stuff can be considered essential. It's business to business. In fact, during one of our lockdowns, I actually had a photo shoot with a male escort. And I don't normally shoot males, but it was a business transaction. It was actually really good. Normally, I freak out when men ask me to photograph them doing boudoir, as we like to call it in the industry, because they're always a bit weird about it. And they ask some weird questions, and I'm like, where are you going with this, mate? Like, I don't know about this. But this particular guy reached out to me and he said, hey, look, this is how it is. Like, I'm a male escort. I need some images for my business. All I need is a couple of shots from the waist up for my profile in a few different outfits. And of course, one had to be topless. And I wasn't complaining because he had some serious muscles, some serious abs, and lots of tattoos. And I was like, if I have to, I can't take any other clients right now. So, if this is going to help you to run your business right now, if you need these to build a website, clearly that's essential. So let's do this. Where was I going with all of this? Anyway, we've had to close the doors multiple times. And so with COVID, I was kind of like, where are we at? Am I allowed to open? Do I have to call all of my clients and cancel? Are we allowed to do this? Are we allowed to do that? What do I need to implement to make sure if the government walk in or the police walk in, I'm doing the right thing? Does everyone have to be vaccinated? There was so much to navigate, and it was exhausting. But then when we kind of started getting to a point where it was like, okay, I can see what's happening. I know what we're doing. We're not breaking any rules. Let's just do our thing. I put the blinkers on. I really had to pull back from everything and, turn the news off. And I was like, COVID? What COVID? Like, unless I get sick, it really doesn't affect me. I had a lot of cancellations because people had it. A lot of people getting sick, a lot of people's families getting sick. And it has been an insane roller coaster 3 years because it's either feast or famine. It's, all of a sudden you're fully booked, and then you lose everything because of, sickness or COVID or floods. We've had some massive floods in the last 12 months as well. Didn't affect me specifically, but it affected a lot of people in my local area, which meant a lot of my clients. And people had lost everything. And in the process, and always in the process, I just come back to, well, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I'm okay. I'm grateful my family's okay. I'm grateful it's not me that's having to deal with that. And even when I get clients I've had a few lately where it's like, they've had major family tragedies or whatever, I can't focus on the business that I've lost because it's really irrelevant compared to what they're going through. And I just have to come back to gratitude and go, well, I'm just grateful it's not me. I'm grateful I've still got my health. I'm grateful my family are all okay. I'm grateful my house is fine. I'm grateful my business is fine. Everything has to come back to gratitude. And so coming back to the topic, knowledge, is it power? How much knowledge is too much knowledge? Or how much ignorance is too ignorant? And where's that perfect line in between? If you know the answer to this, please let me know. This is something that I've been struggling with for a while. And just like my business, it's been a bit feast or famine. It's like I'm all in or I'm all out. Let me know how it works for you. Let me know if you're an all in, all out kind of person, or if you've found a nice little groove somewhere in the middle, because I'd love to be able to sit in that nice little groove and just take little bits of this and little bits of that, because I know knowledge is power, and I love knowledge and I love learning, and it's one of my huge values in life is to continue learning. But yeah, I don't need to know all the stuff, all the bad stuff. Doesn't affect me. Doesn't concern me. All right, let me know your thoughts. Reach out to me on Facebook and Instagram. I want to hear what you have to say about this. Thanks for joining me on Empowered to Shine, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Thank you for listening to the Empowered to Shine podcast. My name's Leonie Bolt, and I'm glad that you were able to join us today. I hope you got some serious inspiration from today's episode. If you'd like to find more episodes, go to leoniebolt.com/podcasts or start subscribing on your favorite podcast streaming channel. I look forward to seeing you again soon.